First is from Becky Hemsley. She's become one of my favorite poetresses. Uh, have you ever thought about how many things in this world hold a part of your soul? About all of the ways in which you have altered the way other people see and feel things? Have you ever thought about how quickly you can be summoned into someone's mind, their consciousness, because something seemingly insignificant has sparked a memory of you? Because there are whispers of you in certain songs and special places. Your smile is folded into specific words and particular phrases. There are echoes of you wrapped up in certain clothes and random objects, and your light lingers around you everywhere you go in ways you could never imagine. And if you ever doubt it, look back to all the times that anyone has ever sent you a letter or a message or a photograph accompanied by the phrase, "This reminded me of you." It means your soul has left a mark on theirs. And it means that their life and their soul and their heart are a little fuller simply because they've known you. Spirit of a dragonfly. The light you shine on others will always reflect back on you. The energy you give to the world always finds its way back to you. Every kind word, every small act of love, every moment of compassion, it all creates a ripple that travels far beyond what you can see. Like light reflecting off everything it touches, the goodness you share doesn't disappear, it multiplies. In a world that can sometimes feel heavy, choosing kindness is a quiet kind of strength. So keep shining, even when it's hard, because the light you give to others has a way of returning, often when you need it most. My thoughts for today.
I recently read a story about a man named Eugene Maurice Horowitz. He was born on October 31st of 1936 in Forest Hills, New York. Although Eugene's home looked ordinary from the outside, the inside was anything but normal. You see, Eugene's mother battled severe mental illness, and she attempted suicide more than once. On a family beach trip, young Eugene stood on the sand and watched his mother walk so far into the ocean that a lifeguard had to go in and pull her out. Minutes later, she carried on as if nothing had ever happened. Eugene learned early on that the ground beneath ordinary life could give way at any minute without warning. The trauma left its mark. Eugene struggled with chronic bedwetting, a private shame that was made brutally public by the woman who was supposed to protect him. His mother hung his wet sheets from his bedroom window, where they were visible to neighbors and classmates and anyone who walked by. Every single day, Eugene raced home from school with his heart hammering, desperate to pull his sheets down before someone saw them. Eugene was brilliant and broken. He barely graduated from high school. While his mind worked, his heart was too heavy to carry it. What saved him was a javelin. In 1954, Eugene threw a javelin 193 feet, which was far enough to earn a full athletic scholarship to the University of Southern California. For the first time in Eugene's life, a door had opened that no one could take from him until his shoulder gave out due to torn ligaments. With that, the scholarship was gone, and his escape route was closed. Eugene ended up working at a gas station across from a Warner Brothers lot in Burbank. A talent agent noticed him. He needed a stage name. He found one. And in that moment, Eugene Maurice Horowitz disappeared from history, and Michael Landon took his place. I don't know if any of you saw that coming.
No, I knew it.
You knew it. I think we often read the same stories. The story went on to talk about how America fell in love with little Joe Cartwright, the restless and charming, very charming, youngest son on the Ponderosa, where 900 episodes of Bonanza was televised for 14 seasons. I remember. Michael then began writing and directing, and he turned Laura Ingalls Wilder's beloved books into a show about goodness without sentimentality, struggle without despair, and a family that chose each other over and over again. Little House on the Prairie ran for 9 seasons. As Charles Ingalls, or Pa, Michael created an enduring portrait of fatherhood, warm, steady, principled, and present. Think about that. The boy whose shame was hung from a window became the father millions of children wished for. Michael next created Highway to Heaven, a show about an angel sent to Earth to help broken people find their way. While network executives thought it would fail, the show ran for 5 seasons, during which Michael used his platform to hire disabled actors and people fighting cancer, giving opportunities to the people Hollywood had quietly decided weren't worth the risk. In early 1991, Michael was diagnosed with advanced pancreatic cancer. He passed away in his Malibu home on July 1st of that year at the young age of 54. Michael's headstone reads, "He seized life with joy. He gave to life generously. He leaves a legacy of love and laughter." Michael is remembered for the characters he portrayed, for Little Joe's grin, for Pa's steady hand, and for the angel walking on a highway, helping strangers find hope. What the remembrances sometimes miss is the distance he traveled to get there. From a boy running home in shame every morning, desperate to pull wet sheets from a window before anyone saw them, to a man who spent 30 years showing America what a father who chose to stay looked like, to show up, to hold his family together through everything. He took everything the world handed to him early, the chaos, the humiliation, the shattered shoulder, and the stolen future, and he built something from it that outlasted him. The people who understand pain most deeply are often the ones who spend their lives helping others heal from it. I had originally planned to talk about a different topic today, and those words, and I have chills again, those words resonated with me. They caught my attention, and I couldn't deny that an inspiration was born. And so again, the people who understand pain most deeply are often the ones who spend their lives helping others heal from it. This sentence is pointing to a truth that many people recognize in themselves or in the healers they admire: therapists, spiritual leaders, caregivers, mentors, even friends who show up with compassion. When someone has walked through their own darkness, they tend to understand suffering without judgment, recognize the signs of hurt in others, know what kind of support actually helps, and feel called to prevent others from feeling alone in their struggle. This is not to say that pain is required to help others, but that those who have endured pain often carry a kind of wisdom and tenderness that can't be taught in any other way. Therefore, today's reflection centers on the truth that many of us know, whether we speak it aloud or carry it quietly. The healers we meet in life are often the ones who were once hurt, not because they wanted to be, not because they deserved it, but because their own experiences carved out a deeper capacity for empathy, understanding, and presence. When someone has lived through pain, real pain, the kind that shakes you, humbles you, or changes the way you see the world, something shifts inside of them. They begin to understand suffering in a way that is intimate and intuitive. They know what it feels like to need comfort, so they offer comfort. They know what it feels like to feel alone, so they show up. They know what it feels like to be misunderstood, so they listen without judgment. This is the quiet wisdom of the wounded healer. It is not about being broken. It is about being opened. Many of the healers in this world, the caregivers, the counselors, the mediums, the spiritual teachers, the friends who always seem to know when to reach out, did not step into their roles because life was easy. They stepped into them because life shaped them, life deepened them, life softened them in places where others might have hardened. Their hurt did not close their hearts, it expanded them. And through that expansion, healing flows. In spiritual communities like ISC, Inner Spiritual Center, we see this truth every week. We see people who have walked through grief, comforting others, offering comfort to others who are grieving. We see people who have survived difficult chapters becoming guides for those who just beginning theirs. We see mediums who first discovered their gifts in moments of loss or longing, now using those gifts to bring reassurance, connection, and peace. Spirit often works through the very places where we once felt broken, not to glorify suffering, but to transform it, to turn experience into empathy, to turn our wounds into wisdom, to turn our hurt into healing. And perhaps you've done this without realizing it. Perhaps you've been the person someone turned to because they sensed your understanding. Perhaps your own journey has made you a safe place for others. Perhaps your compassion, shaped by your experiences, has already changed someone's life. So today, I invite you to hold this thought gently. The healers who were once hurt are not defined by their pain. They are defined by what they chose to do with it. You don't need to be fully healed to be a source of healing. You don't need to have all the answers to offer comfort. You don't need to be unharmed to be strong. Your experiences have given you insight. Your healing has given you compassion. And your presence, your willingness to show up for others, is one of the most sacred offerings you bring to this world. The healers who were once hurt remind us that pain does not have the final word. Love does. Connection does. Spirit does.
Well, I'm in the middle of service right now.
That was a good segue.
In fact, you read my mind because I was going to give you a call this afternoon.
Thank you. That's not a bomber. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. And thank you for the ways you transform your own experiences into understanding, kindness, and light.